Welcome to the Dog and Pizzle podcast, live from Stewart, Florida. I'm one of your hosts, Dog.
I'm Pizzle.
Today,
And
we'd like to welcome Lloyd to our show.
Hello. Thanks for having me, guys.
I'm super excited to have Lloyd on today. He's my coach, my mentor. And I know with that, there's probably, he has his hands full with trying to give me tips and pointers because sometimes I can be a little bit stubborn. So again, Lloyd, thank you for taking the time out to join us here this evening. How long have you been playing pickleball?
Well, I started, I guess it was 2018. So I think a little over 8 years. I was working out at a YMCA in Conroe, Texas after I retired. And they were playing this stupid looking game in the gym. I mean, they're using this huge ping pong paddle and a wiffle ball. And they kept asking me to play. And I said, nah, I got to work out. I'm here to work out. And one day I go there to work out about 8 in the morning, and they were very, very sad. They were so sad because they only had 3 players. So I decided to play, and the rest is history. It was a lot harder than it looked.
Yeah, because it looks very easy.
Right. Well, of course, the way they were playing, I mean, and they weren't bad, but you look at today's game, though, and it doesn't. In my years, the game is playing, it's changed and changed for the better. It's so much quicker. It's
3
way more
years
stimulating.
now,
I enjoyed it
myself.
before, but I enjoy it even more now.
What would you say is a difference between Texas pickleball and Florida? Is it the same or a different game? Or
Well, it might be easier for me to answer Arkansas and Florida. Till about 4 or 5 years ago, it was a much slower paced game. But with so many tennis players getting into it now, and with the grit on the paddles, the spin you can hit now, it's just a faster paced game. But I'd say the difference between Arkansas and Florida, I don't see a lot of difference in necessarily the play, but I will say ratings wise, it's either Arkansas ratings are inflated or Florida ratings are underinflated, because it's what I would play in Arkansas, I'd play probably 0.5 down here.
I've heard that too. I've heard people say, like, if you're a 4-0 in Florida, you're like a 4-5 in this state or something like that. So there is some truth to that I've heard also.
Yes, I would agree with that.
You talk about the game changing. Like, how was like the paddles 8 years ago compared to now? You mentioned the grit; they were a little bit more grit today. You can spin a ball better. What was it playing like with the paddle then?
I tried different paddles, and they were either ungodly soft or ungodly hard. So you either went for touch or you knocked the hell out of the ball. You really couldn't spin the ball. So I'd say that was the biggest difference. And it's just a huge difference now. But I think people know how to play the game better too. I think when tennis players came in and started hitting topspin, I think even if we had those old paddles still now, I think the game would still have changed because of tennis players coming in and showing what spin can do. I started playing pickleball. I hadn't played much racket sports in my life. It wasn't until I think I told you this before, Mark, when I hurt my shoulder and I was out, I had labrum surgery. I was out for about 9 months. That's when I made up my mind when I came back, I was going to hit with topspin. And actually, my shoulder surgery was probably the best thing that ever happened to me in pickleball.
Really? Isn't it funny how sometimes injuries can change how you go about the game because it forces you to change your game and hit with more of a top?
When I started playing, I just out there, I told you, I'm just out there whacking the ball around. I think the biggest mistake people make, this is one advice I give any beginner. If you are going to start pickleball, don't start by playing games. Learn to hit the ball. Just, how you and I go out and sometimes in our drilling, we just hit the ball around, and just get a feel for hitting the ball. I feel like I would have mastered the game a lot quicker.
When I first started playing that, like, if I would have learned it the way to begin with, I think my game would be a lot better already.
And part of it is because you don't want to take that step backwards, because we all know when you have to fix something for a few weeks, if you go out and play competitively and you try to put that into action, you're not going to be as good as you were for a while, but you're going to come out of it.
But why do you think people don't want to drill?
Boring.
It's boring, right?
Not to me, but it's boring. Rob, do you drill?
No, and I wish I did, and I keep saying I mean to, but it don't happen. I probably only drilled 3 times ever, and once was with Mark, and that's probably the most fun I had because he made it into a game. Let's do a drilling game, and that's a good takeaway. Like, make it competitive, not just you're sitting there and smacking the ball over the net for 20 minutes in the same one, but make it keep score. You got something to strive for.
And I coached a lot of sports, and it's the same in every sport. When you're coaching, you start by working on the skill. So we may, if we want to work on dinking, just do boring dinking for 4 or 5 minutes. Then we're going to get competitive about it. And then if we want to work on our drop shots, we take 4 or 5 minutes. We just want to hit our drop shots.
Can I
Just
share?
dial
Can
them in.
I,
Dial them in. If you never practice your consistency, you're not getting anywhere.
I go to whispering, right? And here's Lloyd standing off the side, never met him before. And I'm like, jump on in. We won every game, right? And so, Lloyd, go ahead and I want to hear your version of the first time that we met on the pickleball court.
I see this guy, and Rob, you've played with Mark. Man, he had him, and little guy, but freakishly athletic, quick feet, quick hands, power, fast. I mean, everything. If I had those physical attributes, I'd be playing on the senior pro tour now instead of playing at 3.5. But but he's just knocking the crap out of the ball. That's what he's knocking. I mean, he's hitting the ball through people. He's hitting the ball over fences. He but he was pretty effective because he was so damn athletic. And I think at some point in there, I said, okay, here's the game plan. I said, I drop it and you pop it. I said, I'm gonna hit a drop shot and you come up there and you just, you take it away. But after we played, it was fun because I'm watching this guy with this raw talent. And like I said, we're oil and vinegar in our playing styles. And I'll hit the ball hard sometimes, but I'm also trying to set some things up. I'm not going to hit the ball through anybody unless they're blind. But then so afterwards, he's picking my brain because during the play, I can't help it. I don't, tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm real pushy in giving some advice, but I think I said, I'm going to slow that down. You might. So afterward, he just starts picking my brain. And then we talk about playing singles because you were so athletic, and I had played some.
Yeah, well, I think you asked me. You go, how often do you drill? I'm like, drill. Like, I'm like, never. You're like, would you like to? And you're so nice and so you devoted so much time and effort and show me the game. And every time we text, I'm always like, thank you for everything. I'm so grateful because you have helped me develop this love and passion.
Well, thank God you have thick skin, because sometimes I'm blunt in the text. Rob, he'll ask me, what, because he knows if he's had a crappy day, and he'll ask me what he need, and I'm blunt with him as to what he did. He's still better than me, but I feel like I can still help him as a coach.
I got to put my glasses on here, Rob. Rob, you got to listen to this. I won't read the whole text to you, but this text that Lloyd sent me the other day. Here it is. Where's it at? Here we go. The only thing keeping you from being one of the top players is your infatuation with power.
I hit the nail on the head, though, didn't I?
So it did. Rob, so be careful. If you ever ask Lloyd for advice on the pickleball court, Rob is a great partner to go out there with because you can say something, Rob, you played with people, both sides. How has your experience been with trying to give advice to somebody while you're playing?
So usually if it's somebody like that's a newer player, I'll kind of ask hey, because they usually will tell you can tell it's a newer player, and I'll just be like, hey, do you want feedback while you play or something like that or after? And they're like, yeah, most people are open to it and stuff like that. I try to over communicate on the court. Then there's no confusion. We're not trying to crash in the middle.
Lloyd, when you look at drilling compared to playing, you said, so your background is you're an educator, you were a principal of a school.
I started out as a teacher and coach. By my last 21 years, I was a middle school principal.
And you coached. That's how so effective you are because of that communication with wanting to teach, and you have a demeanor about you that, when you would say, hey, this is the game plan, or you may want to try this. It was so welcoming versus Big Fred. Yeah. So Rob, check this out. So I was we've all played with those people who the ball goes out and they hit it and you go, that was going out. It's like, for what reason? How is that helping your partner out? So this is last year. And I say this to Fred. I said, hey, Fred, that ball was going out. And Fred, nicest guy in the world. He's what, 6'2", Lloyd, 6'3", you think?
Yeah, he might be a little taller.
6'4".
Nice guy. Yeah.
Nicest guy in the world. I wouldn't want to get on his bad side, but nice guy. So Fred comes over to me, leans down because I'm about 5'8" on a good day. And he goes, Mark, do you plan on playing in tournaments ever? I'm like, I'm like, this point, his tone changed. I'm like, yeah, yeah. He goes, you never tear your partner down. And he walks away. So people like that who are, for me, mentors in the game. Lloyd, who have been some of your mentors in this game that, or other people you have helped you? And also, if it is, because we've talked about YouTube videos, is there anybody also that, instead of that, that you follow on YouTube that helps you with your game?
I mean, I'd say one of the simplest ones, just in, I don't know if y'all are familiar with it, what is it, Tanner Pickleball? Because he dummies it down. What's interesting is that my wife has, and I'm very proud of her. She took up pickleball last year and she never played a sport in her life. And she's gotten to where she can hold her own out there on the court. So I'm talking to her about strategy. And she says, well, I don't think that works. And then I find these things, all of a sudden it'll pop up, Tanner Pickleball. But you asked me mentors. When I got to Hot Springs Village, when I retired, there was a guy out there, Ken Unger, 4 or 5 plus player. And one of those guys that's just effortless, that just controls the court and puts the ball exactly where they want and things like that. He could see that I wasn't worth a crap at that point, but he recognized that I had good hand-eye coordination and good, athleticism. And he invited me to come play, with a group. He said, here's the deal. When you come out there, I want you to come at the very beginning or at the very end when there's not as many people. And I appreciate his honesty, and it was good because he said, you're not gonna be as good as everybody, and I don't want you to, in a nice way, he said, I don't want you screwing up the best play, when everybody's there. But being able to do that, and then there were several people there that were just so nice and took me under their wing and in a kind way would tell me, you should, need to work on this, you need to work on that. And not one of those, people that, when you're their partner, they bring out the worst in you because you start thinking about, you don't want to make a mistake because they're going to, be all over your case. I don't let those people bother me. I just play my game and let them play their game.
Yeah, same here. Just to backtrack on what you said, man, that Tanner, number one, man, in my book too. Same deal. I listen to his videos all the time, and really, like, he nails it. 60 seconds, boom, you got it. You understand the concept and all that, and it's not a 10-minute worth of fluff video. I really like it.
So this is something new for me to do now. I am going to share this here with everybody. Lloyd, you recognize this guy? Yeah, here we go. This is you and I doing, this is the boring part, dinking. Lloyd actually got me on to like recording that stuff, but that's the part that makes you better. I kind of want to transition here a little bit. Because this is absolutely, for me, amazing. And again, Lloyd has taken the time to drill with me, explain the game to me, how to change speed, how to work on certain shots, to incorporate that into the game. One of the things that I learned about Lloyd, and I don't know how it came up, but he didn't volunteer it because you're very humble, you're very modest. Lloyd, you have a health condition. It's a challenge. You have cancer, leukemia, correct?
Yes, myelodysplasia syndrome, which is a type of leukemia.
And you take chemo how many times a month? Or
I do every 6 weeks now, for 3 days straight.
for 3 days straight. Oh. And Lloyd, I played you last year when we first met. The day after, and we played singles. And I think I know you whooped my ass pretty handily that day. First of all, how do you go out there and play the next day? How do you keep such a strong mindset?
Well, I've been diagnosed with this for 4 years now. And so I had no physical symptoms, but just blood work showed I had really low white blood cells. So they sent me in for the biopsy and all that. And they tell me I have this bone marrow cancer that keeps me from making enough blood cells. And eventually either I'll die from infection or something, or they won't make enough. But the good news is, because I'm healthy, I will get a stem cell transplant at some point when I start to go south, and hopefully fix it. But so when they started the chemotherapy, initially I was doing chemotherapy every 4 weeks, 5 days straight, and that was worse. I try not to let negative things impact me. Heck, I was a middle school principal for 21 years, so I don't let things bother me too much. So yeah, the cancer being diagnosed bothered me, but it, it didn't necessarily ruin my life. But I did baby myself during that time, and I felt like crap. And at first, I just didn't do anything during that time. And then I said, that's crazy. Let's try it. Let's see what we can do. And I used to work out really hard, and I'd go and try to do my whole workout. Maybe if I was going to work out for 45 minutes, maybe I did 30, maybe I did 80%, but I kept doing, I got to the point where I said, I can do it. And so I play pickleball through it. But part of the motivation why I keep working out so hard and doing pickleball and everything, I don't want my red blood cells dropping. And then I'm gonna have to start getting transfusions, because then I'm gonna feel like crap all the time, not just every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
What I like, Lloyd, is your positivity through the whole situation. I say this to employees sometimes too, like negativity is infectious, but so is positivity. And if you have a positive mindset about things, so that's what you're creating around you. So it's good that you were able to keep your cool and still, play and try to put a positive spin on it. That's awesome.
So pickleball for you is a release. It's an opportunity for you to kind of get out of, this is what kind of the hand I've been dealt. Let me go make the best out of it. And how much of mindset is a part of pickleball over the physicality?
Well, I mean, it's definitely an escape. And when I found pickleball, it was that stress relief. Part of the reason why I tried to play a lot of singles, and I have some people I play with back in Arkansas, and I'm not great at it, but it gets my heart rate up. And playing doubles, I mean, it can get your heart rate up some. It is strenuous on your body. I mean, it's your legs, you're constantly, it's like, I tell people playing doubles pickleball, it may not look hard, but I don't know if you two played basketball and you remember playing defense, stay low, stay low, stay low. And playing defense was tiring as heck. And that's what I like in doubles pickleball too, is it's not wearing me out cardiovascularly as much as it's just wearing my body out. But that's why I like to play singles, because I need to make sure that I'm keeping that aerobic capacity, so I keep making the red blood cells.
What would you say to somebody who thinks that like a diagnosis means they have to stop living fully?
It's hard for me because a lot of people call me stubborn. If I'm going to do something, if I set my mind to do something, I'm going to do it. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way, because I don't ever set my mind to doing stuff that I can't do. And part of it's just a mindset of, I'm going to play pickleball, and I'm going to live my life. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. And, I won't lie to you. In the beginning, there were times when I said, why did, I don't ever do it anymore. I've resigned myself to the fact that, I used to get stressed out. I go in for bone marrow biopsies. It used to be every 3 months. Now it's every 6 months. I used to get stressed over the results. And now it's like, I don't care what the results are. Whatever the results are, we're going to have a plan, and we're going to just move forward, because I can't impact it. Try not to worry about things that we have no control over.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I just love being around you, man, because I watch when you play and how calm it is and how you don't let things get to you. And not to sit there and say that everything throughout the day, throughout life for you is like zippity doo dah, the skies are beautiful. I mean, you probably have those days where it's like, yeah, this sucks. And, but at the same time, because you constantly work on it, that gap in between of, sucks and great is very short, right? Of sitting in your stuff.
I mean, I just try to keep it in perspective. I mean, I have plenty of bad days on the pickleball court.
You said it earlier too, your shoulder injury. Same with me. I mean, I didn't like tear something. I have like micro tears, and I've started playing a much softer for me game. And my game has gotten so much better to me since I started doing that. I mean, even some of the partners that I played with for a year or two say to me, like, who's this guy in the court? 5 dinks in? Like, I was like a 2 dink and I was speeding it up. There's no questions now. Sometimes I'll get into a dink battle. It's crazy.
So, Lloyd, you have coached, you played sports. You mentioned basketball. I know you coach baseball. And why do you think pickleball has such a big community compared to other sports?
There's several reasons. Number one, I'd say, is like 98.5% of the people I've met on the pickleball court, they're nice people. The other thing is that most people play, I mean, there's people who've never played a sport in their life, like my wife, okay? But most people out there, they were athletes. They played in high school or whatever, and they're playing. But The court is small enough that it's manageable. The ball is hard and it can move fast, but it's not bouncing crazy high like a tennis ball or, whatever. I think it's changed some in that I think when I first started playing, when power wasn't as important and the paddles weren't as good, that it was easier for, an 80-year-old to play with a 30-year-old. I think that's changed a little bit now with the technology and the paddles and how fast that the game is. But I just think the fact that males and females can play together, 30-year-olds can play with 80-year-olds. I play with a couple guys in their mid-village, and man, they are freakishly good players and athletes. I mean, you look at them, you'd say, man, that guy's in his 40s. But I think it's just the fact that everybody can play together. I ask y'all a question: would they have made the court bigger?
Rob, what do you think?
I would say yes, just for like the simple statistic. So many people have come from tennis backgrounds and played on a bigger court. That's what they're used to. Because the balls, the technology, the paddles people are hitting harder that they probably would compared to where the game started, because it used to be a much softer game. I'm only 3 years in and I've noticed already that it's gotten quicker. And people would try to like coach me on the court. It was that third shot drop, third shot drop, third shot, everything. And now it's not. It's like third shot drive, fifth shot drop. And there's opinions, third shot drop, but it's everything was always drop ding. And it's already evolved in a couple of years that I've been playing.
I don't think that they would other sports and how they've made changes. NFL used to have the goalpost at the front, now they're in the back. Basketball never had a 3-point line in the beginning, now it does. This is the day and age where technology is around us. I think what may happen over the years is they may expand maybe the kitchen, or they may do something as far as that, or maybe change some of the rules, because it seems like every year there are new rule changes because of the players who are playing today are probably a lot more athletic, the technology, the paddles, the balls, and so on and so forth. I think that would probably cause some of the rule changes to keep on going. So, Lloyd, before we wrap up here, so somebody is a 3-2-5. They want to go to 4-4-5. What do they need to do in order to make that happen?
I think you have to find a really good drilling partner, or find somebody who gives lessons and pay. We pay for we pay a lot of money for our paddles and our shoes and everything. Invest in a few lessons. And really, if you're already a 3-5, right, you got a lot of skills down. Decide, what do you want to work on? Do you want to work on a backhand flick? What do you want to work on? And find somebody who's really good and go to them and work on those things. But if you have a good drilling partner, you can watch videos. Like we talked about Tanner Pickleball. There's all kind of good videos out there that you can watch and learn how to do the skill. And if you have a good drilling partner to, work with you, and somebody who's good enough, like you two would be, to say, hey, you're not doing that. You think you're doing this, but you're not getting under the ball or whatever.
So Lloyd's got some good points for beginners. I think it's like you learn to crawl before you learn to walk. So take the time, learn how to hit a ball before you just jump into a game. Maybe take a lesson or two first and get some good form before you just get out there and start picking up bad habits.
I love drilling. Last night at Whispering, I played against somebody, I know Robbie very well. We get done playing, and I haven't played against this person probably in about a month, whatever. And we get done playing, he goes, holy cow. He goes, where did you get those hands from? And it's because of that, of drilling. Yeah, it's not the sexy, fun thing to do. But man, when you get back out in the court, everything on the court just slows down. Although I know I go at Mach 1, and Lloyd, I signed you up through a text message the other day to help me with that. So in closing, Lloyd, I always say this to you. I am forever grateful for you, what you've done for me in this game, what you've done for me as a friend. I want to say thank you for that.
Yeah, I wanted 2 quick things. I want to do a quick rapid fire round with you, Lloyd. I'm just going to shoot out 5 quick questions. Don't think, just answer. Games to 15 or games to 11?
11.
Kitchen or non-volley zone? What do you call it?
Kitchen.
Best of 3 or 1 sudden death game?
Best of 3.
Favorite ball?
Vulcan.
Favorite paddle?
It's a CRBN. I use the Genesis.
Nice. The only other thing I had was I did not know you coming into this today. I'm glad that I got an opportunity to know you. Mark has spoke very highly of you and how you've changed his game and his life. And just what I've learned from you in like the last half hour or so, I mean, you are a bright light You face some adversity with your health, and your positivity shines. You're an inspiration to me and to others and the pickleball community. And I just really, really appreciate that positivity that you bring to your day and to us. Thank you.
And thank y'all both for the kind words.
We appreciate it. And everybody's going to hit up Lloyd now at Whisper Pines. Hey, you give lessons? If you need a tip from Lloyd, he'll be more than happy to give you one because that's just kind of the guy how he is. Lloyd, again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and I can't wait to see you back out in the courts.
Lloyd, thank you for being a participant in our podcast. I'm Dog out.
I'm Pizzle.
And we'll see you on the court soon.